your CIGTV News Update, community news and weather forecast. I'm Donna Bush. Residents of the Cayman Islands woke up to news of an earthquake this morning. Officials report the 5.0 earthquake hit 46 miles east-southeast off the district of East End around 1:12 this morning. Simon Boxall of Hazard Management Cayman Islands explains more.
At no point were the public in danger. There was no threat to life or property. The Department of Public Safety Communications 911 is the after-hours focal point for major incidents, and they contact Hazard Management to activate the NEOC if it's required. The threshold for actually contacting Hazard Management after hours to issue public notifications is 3 felt reports from the public, damage to structures, or a magnitude 6 or above in our region, which could potentially generate a tsunami. As stated, none of those criteria were met for us to alert the public. The National Emergency Notification System also wasn't used because that is typically set in place to notify the public of what public safety actions they should take in response to a major incident. Again, the public weren't threatened in this particular event. If you're interested, though, in a hazard awareness session for your school or business or civic organization or church, you can always contact Hazard Management Cayman Islands, and our telephone number is 945-4624. You can also reach us on our website, Cayman Prepared, and there's information on there which tells you what to do basically before and during an earthquake to keep you safe and prepared.
And you can get more details on how to prepare on the following social media sites. On Facebook, it is Cayman Hazard, and on Twitter, it is CINEOC. Meantime, the people of the Cayman Islands have the chance to examine the contents of the package of constitutional reforms and offer government their feedback.
Mr. Speaker, following that letter, there were discussions between myself and members of the opposition, and indeed a meeting with myself and the Honourable Leader of the opposition. And subsequent thereto, we agreed to write to Lord Ahmad in the following terms. Mr. Speaker, the letter is dated the 20th of November 2019 in the following terms. Dear Lord Ahmad, Reconstitutional Reform. It is signed by myself as Premier and by the Honourable Ard McLean as Leader of the Opposition. We refer to your letter of 10th November 2019, together with the draft Cayman Islands Constitution Amendment Order 2019. We refer in particular to your request to seek the broadest possible support for the reforms, both within the Legislative Assembly and the wider public. To that end, we are pleased to advise that following discussions with members of the Legislative Assembly, we have agreed on the package of reforms as contained in the draft order, subject only to the coming into effect of the provisions in Section 5 relating to the additional minister being deferred to the start of the next term, that is, until after the next general elections. Indeed, we are of the opinion that although the changes are not minor, they are nonetheless uncontroversial. In such circumstances, and in accordance with your letter, we believe a referendum is neither necessary nor appropriate, and instead our agreement to the reforms will eventually be confirmed through a resolution in the Legislative Assembly. This is an approach confirmed as acceptable to the United Kingdom government in a letter dated 10th of June 2009 from the then Parliamentary Under-Secretary Chris Bryant. In this regard, we undertake to provide you with the relevant Hansard transcript of the resolution by the Legislative Assembly at the conclusion of the debate on the package of reforms. However, we consider that the consensus reached by us in confirming our agreement to the reforms is of such significance as to justify notifying you without further delay.
While the content of the package of reforms have been agreed by the United Kingdom, the Cayman Islands government, and the opposition, both the government and the opposition believe it's important that the people of the Cayman Islands get the opportunity to scrutinize the planned changes and to ask questions they may have. Now, the key documents can be found at explore.gov.ky/constitutional reform and are available by clicking the links at the foot of the page. Questions and comments can be submitted by emailing constitution at gov.ky. Once that process is finalized, the revised constitutional order will go through the formal process in the United Kingdom, and it is expected that the new order will be confirmed by the Privy Council in February of next year. And of course, you can watch Friday's Legislative Assembly session on youtube.com/CIG television to hear more on the constitutional reforms from Premier Alden McLaughlin. Meantime, civil servants across government will spread festive cheer during the holiday season by taking part in an exciting new Christmas gift-giving drive that benefits the island's children, young parents, and older persons. Launched today, December 9th, and closing on Tuesday, December 17th, the CIG Giving Tree Appeal also seeks support from the general public and local businesses to help make this Christmas extra special for everyone in the community. The new initiative brings gift donation drives traditionally organized by the Department of Children and Family Services and the Family Resource Center under a single campaign that all government staff, the public, and businesses can fully get behind. Would-be participants are encouraged to visit the CIG Given Tree in the Government Administration Building public lobby, which is open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. weekdays. Now for a check on other community stories making Radio Cayman headlines. Recruitment is underway for the Cayman Islands Cadet Corps. Commandant Babeth Ogaro says the Corps wants to recruit 10% of each of the local school population. A camp for the kids was held this weekend, teaching kids practical skills like dishwashing, cleaning their rooms, and spreading their beds, as well as waking up early and going for exercise. Now the Corps is also looking for volunteers to go through their 8-week training program. For more details, you can go online to CIGCadetcorps.ky. You can check out Radio Cayman's website, radiocayman.gov.ky, for more community news there. Well, some of Cayman's favorite storytellers returned to beaches and parks on all 3 islands this past week. The very popular Cayman Islands International Storytelling event, Gimme Story, taking place the last 20 years, happened at the Colwood Beach in Bordentown last Tuesday night, as told here by the Cayman Compass.
Next year, Nancy gone back. And he start to laugh off a peeling foul. He said, no, look here. I know sick and you hear drop out.
But once more I say, I would have been matchmaker right away. So Mister, if you're feeling pressure, you should approach the lady who take the camera. Right here, what do I see? A handsome man in a green jersey. Well, you giving me pressure, but you resemble one of them green iguana. But I will stay on. I know why he's sitting down alone. He want a wife to a heart to sing, but it's clear no woman want him.
And of course, you can go to CaymanCompass.com for more details on stories making headlines there. Turning now to today's weather forecast from the Cayman Islands National Weather Service. The forecast calls for moderate northeast winds and seas, which are expected to continue for the next 24 hours as a ridge of high pressure remains across the Gulf of Mexico. Radar images show isolated showers within the Cayman area, which are moving towards the southeast. Today's high temperature reached 86 degrees Fahrenheit. Forecast calls for partly cloudy skies earlier today, becoming fair with a 20% chance of showers later today. Winds are from the east to northeast at 10 to 15 knots. Sea conditions are moderate with wave heights of 3 to 5 feet. And you can go online to weather.gov.ky for the latest forecast, which can also be found on their Facebook page and on the Weather Radio dial 107.9 FM. Remember, they also have an app, that's CINWS. And that's the latest from us here at CIG Television. If you missed today's news update, you can go to the Cayman Islands Government Facebook page as well as the CIG Television YouTube channel. I'm Donna Bush. Thanks for joining us and have a great night.
Join Donna Bush weekdays at 6 p.m. for the CIGTV News Update. Get the latest on what's happening in government on a daily basis. News Update first at 6 p.m.
Did you know that a deck more than 6 inches above finished grade requires planning permission? Did you know you should check with the department as a planning and permit application may be required? Did you know that planning permission is required for a sign? Did you know you should check with the department as a planning and permit application may be required? Did you know you should check with the department before leasing a property or unit for a business, as a planning and permit application may be required?
The Royal Cayman Islands Police Service has launched a new service to apply for a police clearance certificate online. To make this process quick and easy, ensure you have digital copies of all required documents readily available. At a minimum, you'll need a copy of your passport photo page. Our website lists the full requirements. If you are using an Apple iOS or Android mobile device, you can use the camera to take photos of these documents while completing your application. After you have read the instructions and are ready to start, type in the alphanumeric string from the CAPTCHA image and click the green button that says Start Application. If you can't read the letters and numbers properly, click Can't Read Image below the photo to try again. To complete your application, you will follow 5 simple steps. These are shown at the top of each page, and the blue circle will always show where you are right now. Enter the requested data in each field. All fields marked with an asterisk are required. Each field has some help information, and please pay attention to the correct format for dates and telephone numbers in particular. When selecting your birthday, you can also use the calendar feature. If a field has a drop-down list, you can scroll through alphabetically or start typing to find the correct option. You will be asked to enter your email address twice to ensure it's correct. This is the address we will use to send you a confirmation email and receipt. Once you have entered all of the required information, click Next at the bottom of the screen. If you click the Cancel Application button at any stage in the process, you will lose everything you've entered so far and be returned to the home page. On this page, answer the questions about past offenses, provide details if relevant, and then click Next. In this step, you will select the type of service being requested and details of the person applying, as well as anyone who might pick up the certificate on his or her behalf. If you select certain options, more information may be required at this stage or later in the process when you are uploading your documents. Finally, select the reasons you are applying and then click Next. If you make a mistake, use the drop-down menu to change the reason or click the red X to delete a line. Remember, if you click the Cancel Application button at any stage in the process, you will lose everything you've entered so far and be returned to the home page. If you need to go back to a previous page to review or change data you already entered, you can use the Back button. You can also navigate through the process using the links at the top of the page. On this page, you will be asked for the relevant digital documents to support your application. On each line, click the Upload icon, select the correct file, and then click Upload. Repeat this process for each document. Based on the information you've already entered, this page will tell you the basic documents required. However, please remember to read the guidance notes to ensure you've included everything for your particular application. You can click the Upload More Documents button if you need to add more files, using the Comments field to briefly explain the additional documents you are submitting. If you go back to previous sections after uploading documents and make changes that affect these requirements, you may need to re-upload your documents. This is the final page before submission. Please review all information provided to ensure it is accurate and complete. You won't be able to change anything on this page, but you can use the Back button or the links at the top of the page to return to earlier pages and update any field. By submitting this application, you are declaring that the information provided is accurate and truthful. If you are satisfied with your application, click Proceed to Online Payment. You may need to allow pop-ups and then click the button again to show the payment screen where you will enter your debit or credit card information. The Cayman Islands government accepts Visa and MasterCard, and you can use a debit or credit card issued anywhere in the world. Payment will be processed in Cayman Islands dollars for local service, and in United States dollars for overseas service. If you have questions about any exchange rate that will be used, or foreign currency transaction fees, please contact the bank that issued your card. The Cayman Islands government will not receive or retain your card information. Once your online payment has been authorized, you can view and print your receipt. Click Continue to return to our webpage for details on pickup date and time. If there is an issue with your application and we have to contact you for more information, your application may be delayed. You will also receive a confirmation email with this information and your official receipt. Please remember to bring your passport for identification when you collect your certificate from the Criminal Records Office.
The Esterly Tibbetts Highway 3-lane roundabout is ready for drivers. It's time to make sure you know how to use it. First, know which exit you need to take. Pay attention to lane arrows and signs. Make sure you use your signal to change lanes or exit the roundabout. To turn left, you always approach in the left-hand lane and indicate left. To drive straight ahead, you need to be looking out for signs and road markings indicating which lane to use. Get in one of the lanes marked with a straight-through arrow. If turning right, you must use the right-hand lane and indicate accordingly. To use the roundabout safely, remember these 3 tips. Know your exit, pick your lane, and signal to make your turn.
Did you know that planning permission is required for an addition, alteration, or any material change to your house? The 10% rule no longer exists. Did you know you should check with the department as a planning and permit application may be required? Did you know that planning permission is required for a shed? Did you know you should check with the department as a planning and permit application may be required? Did you know that a trellis structure requires planning permission? You should check with the department as a planning and permit application may be required.